Hello, everybody.
Hi, everyone.
Welcome back to another
back.
episode of To Be in the Same Boat.
And we're your host. I'm Karina.
I'm Erica.
And this episode is about
Honesty.
honesty.
Honestly, to be honest,
Is honesty the best policy?
is honesty the best policy? Short answer, yes.
Long answer of this episode.
Long answer of this episode, yeah. How do you want to start?
Do you think you're an honest person?
No.
Ooh.
Like, I feel like I try my best to be honest, but then, like, I feel like if anything, it's more of like, okay, I see this a lot. It's like, I don't really know how I'm feeling, so I can't be honest with my own emotions and my thoughts. I feel like I make myself think a different way sometimes. And when I say I'm not an honest person, I feel like it's more so I'm not honest with myself more so than with other people. Yeah, I'm not trying to say I'm a liar. I'm just saying, like, it's hard.
I actually agree with that. Do you
Yeah.
think you're like easily influenced and like convinced?
Yes, so easily. Do you think you also?
I think yes, but actually, I don't know. I think I'm easily influenced by people who I admire. But in general, no. I think I really have my strong opinions, and I tend
Yeah.
to stick with them.
Honestly, that's something I like really admire, and it's like a big insecurity of mine. I feel like I don't have a strong opinion. Like, I tend to, like, if someone says something, I tend to agree, and then I like to agree with people. And I don't really have like that strong opinion myself. Like, a lot of times I don't. So
I mean, for you, I think it kind of goes along with you don't like conflict, right?
I guess that's
So,
also
like-
like a part of it.
Like, if you don't like conflict, you won't have strong opinions, because having strong opinions goes in hand with you will have conflict.
That's
Like,
true.
100.
Because you're like standing up for yourself.
Exactly.
That makes sense.
A lot of times I think it's also like some people, they don't like conflict, but then they will be just quiet rather than like saying and like explaining your point
Yeah.
when you don't see that being fit.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I think I should do that, like rather than waste my energy and explain what I'm thinking. Just let it be. Like, not everyone's gonna understand you.
Yeah, that's true. Do you think you're an honest person?
I think so. I
Yeah.
genuinely think so. It's very hard for me to hide emotions.
Oh.
Like, I think I'm pretty good at it, but I always hear from my friends and like my family and even people that I don't know that well. Like, it's always like, are you all right? Like, and if something's happening with me, it's pretty easily readable.
Yeah.
So I think it's just like, remember I even had a mug. It was like, whatever I'm feeling, it's written on my face or something.
Oh.
Like, that's true.
I think in that sense, you're very honest. Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes I definitely don't fully explain my point or don't say everything, I think, just because I don't think it's suitable. And I try to be neutral towards a lot of things.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Okay, let me just like back myself up a little bit. When I say I'm not an honest person, that just sounded really bad. I'm more so, it's more of like what you were saying about how you show your emotions very, like, it's very readable. People
Yeah.
can just easily tell.
Yeah.
That's like the opposite for me, I feel like. Like, obviously, it's also sometimes where, like, oh, you can clearly tell that I'm upset, but then I hide my emotions a lot more than I think I should. Yeah, I think that's the dishonest part I was talking about. It's not I'm a liar or I'm a cheater. I'm just saying that, like, I don't know. I like to, if someone asks if I'm okay, 99% of the time I'll say, yeah, I'm fine, even though I'm not.
Yeah, I mean, same with me.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just, for me, like, you can read it from me, but I'm not going to explain why. For you, I think it's also the same, but it's harder for other people to say if something's wrong with you. Like, I can tell.
Yeah.
I just know you.
Yeah, that's true.
But like other people, but for me, it's like even my manager at work would be like, "Karina, you okay today?" I'm like, "What? What do you
Like,
mean?
what do you mean?
Hi, what can I get for you today?"
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay, I had a thought.
Yeah. We're back at it.
It's okay. It'll come back to me.
I wanted to ask you, there was a thing that I found out on Googling while prepping for this episode, and it was like honesty versus
Transparency.
Mm-hmm. What do you think of both? And then we'll read what Google said.
I think it's different. I don't really see, like, I think being transparent is like you're being like an open book.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas being honest is like if someone asks you a question, you answer them honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Transparency is they don't even have to ask you the question. You can just tell.
Oh, that's a good way to put that. Because before I read what Google said, I was like, isn't it the same thing? A little in my head, I was like, wait, that's the same thing. And then I was thinking transparent is being more like clear, whereas honest is like
real.
I don't know why, but in my head, transparent was like towards like business stuff.
Yeah,
like work stuff.
yeah. It's more like corporate like term.
But like honest is towards like relationships, like personal stuff.
Yeah,
Like
I see that too.
I don't think I've heard a lot of you have to be, or like our honest project, or like this strategy is so honest. It's transparent.
Yeah.
So.
Or like you don't hear people say, "Oh, you're such a transparent person."
Yeah.
Or transparency is one of my better qualities.
Exactly.
Like that's not like really a thing.
So it's like it's the same thing, but then Google. Can you read out what Google said?
Is it on your notes?
Yeah, because my phone's up there.
Honesty is when a person tells the truth about something they're asked about. Transparency is when a person volunteers information without having to be asked.
That's what you said.
Yeah. And then I added transparency as being an open book. And then, can honesty sometimes be subjective, or do you believe that there are universal truths that define it?
Oh, I like that question. But can we just roll back to the transparency? So I think going back to ourselves, I think you're more honest but not transparent.
Yeah.
Right?
And you're more transparent.
I'm honest.
Well, you're honest too, but you're more transparent than I am.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In that sense, I think so.
I agree.
Yeah. Okay, what was that question?
I'm trying to remember the thought that I had, because it was a good
White life?
question.
No,
but I'm gonna talk about that later too. Can honesty sometimes be subjective, or do you believe there are universal truths that define it?
Okay. I think every person has their own truth. Like, you know how this is gonna be so deep, but like, you know how when there is something like a crime or whatever happened, they always ask for multiple opinions because everyone has their own lens of what happened. So there's that. But then I think there are some universal truths as well. Like, for example, like killing a person is bad. That's just a statement. Like, killing a person is bad. And that's true. So.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like it's both. Like, honesty is just honesty, but then it's subjective as a sense, like, I lost my train of thought.
No, so would you say honesty is subjective or objective?
Subjective or objective?
It has to be the one.
I don't get the question.
Like subjective or objective? Objective is like universal. Like everyone thinks that. But subjective is like from my perspective, like this person is beautiful. But it can be objective. That's my opinion. Like this coffee is hot. That's objective. That is hot. But like this cup is pretty. That's my opinion on the cup.
I don't know. That's a hard question.
I think subjective.
Doesn't it depend on the situation?
Maybe.
I don't know.
I still think it's like everyone has their own lens.
Yeah.
The way we view the world.
So you're saying that something that you think is honest, some people might not think is honest? Like what?
Okay, maybe not honest. Truth.
Truth?
Yeah. Like, I don't know. Like the fact that this girl went out with this guy, I don't think that's honest from her perspective. But then some other person can be like, no, it's fine.
Okay.
It's so hard to explain. Oh my God.
It's okay. But what I was going to say earlier was, revolving the topic on honesty, do you think you're like 100% yourself with anyone?
No. 100%.
Do you think you ever will be?
No.
No, right? Isn't that
No.
like kind of crazy?
You know what I read about? I read this in some book the other day. It was like, every single day I try to learn more about myself, and I will never reach the point when I'll know 100%.
Yeah.
And I think that's beautiful.
It is, but it's also like kind of crazy.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Like you're always trying to learn something about you, but you'll never get to that 100%.
Because there's new things that you learn about yourself every single day. But not just like yourself, just like with people in general. Like, do you think that couples who are like married for, I don't know, 50 years, are they 100% with each other? 100% honest? Yeah.
No.
No, right?
No.
I feel like they can be, but then like there's just like little things like subconsciously they're not 100% honest.
Like little things. There are always going to be like little things.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I can see like my dad asking my mom what did she have for breakfast, and she had like, I don't know, 2 Nutella toasts, but she'll say she only had 1.
Like that kind of stuff.
Like very little.
But I meant more of like honest about you, like
About
as a
yourself?
person. Yeah.
Well, no, because I think it's so popular for people to,
Like common.
yeah, it's so common for couples to like break up or something because there's miscommunication, because the other person is not saying the 100%. Because like also I feel like when you know the person for that long, you kind of just omit saying some things.
Yeah.
Because you think that person already knows. But at the end of the day, we don't even know ourselves. How is the other person going to know what you're going to say fully at all times?
Yeah.
So I think that's where the like disrupt happens, and then it just grows bigger and bigger and bigger from there. So I don't know. But it's crazy to me, the whole thing. Like any questions involving like couples been together for 50 years, or like when I think about my grandparents, they've been together for more than 40 years. I'm like, that is insane.
Yeah.
Being with someone, living with that person for 40 years.
Even like 4 years is crazy to me, let alone 40 years.
4?
Yeah.
No, 4 is fine.
4 is also crazy. Everything is crazy.
Like 40, I'm like, you guys had like kids together? The kids have kids already? Like, that is insane. I want my grandma to have a podcast, to be honest.
Oh my God. I will listen to old people
Same?
grandma. Old people podcasts.
Old people podcast, right? It would be so fun.
It would be really fun.
Like, not even fun. It would be so insightful.
Yeah. I love hearing my grandparents talk about like stuff they did like back in the day.
Yeah. Because you also see them from such a different perspective.
Yeah.
Okay, well, tequila.
I feel like there are also different levels when it comes to being honest. There's like, not different levels, but like in different scenarios. It can be different. Honesty can be different in different scenarios. Like, for example, personal life, like being honest with yourself, with your friends, your family, relationships. And then there's like, in school, like academics.
Oh.
And then there's like work, like careers and jobs and applications. So.
Oh, I didn't even think of that.
That's what I was thinking about.
I'm definitely not. Okay, I'm not gonna say it.
I think neither of us are.
Yeah.
Academic dishonesty.
We don't talk about that while we're still in school. When we graduate, you might hear more from us.
Yeah.
I was thinking like more of like personal, like. Wait, you said like being honest with yourself. That kind of goes into delusions, though. Like being dishonest with yourself, that's delusions.
That's being delusional,
Yeah.
I guess.
But
Like what?
I don't know. Just
But this honesty is more serious. Delusional is more like dumb.
but
Dishonesty is more like lying to yourself.
delusions.
Delusions is like
Delusions that we have in our house, they are lying to yourself. They are so lying to yourself.
But I see it more like
Like funny.
honesty and like delusion is more like, okay, if you're like actually, this is what I think personally, like if I have delusions, I know they're delusions.
Yeah.
But if you have delusions and you think,
If you believe in them?
if you believe in
fully?
them, then that's an issue.
Okay, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. Because
Like I'm clear when I'm dishonest and when I have delusions. Delusions, I know they're just for fun. Like I don't actually believe in it. But yeah.
I saw this on TikTok the other day, and the guy saying he's like a researcher, professor, some cool guy. He was saying that delusions are actually healthy.
That's a delusion.
Like some part of it, they're
Yeah.
like healthy delusions that you should believe in, and it just makes your life easier.
It helps
Yeah,
it sparks imagination and creativity. Let's just call it that.
sure. That's
But
not what he said.
how
but
does
sure.
he? What do you mean by being healthy? Like it's healthy to have delusions.
Yeah,
It's like manifestation.
it's healthy to have delusions, and it's better for somebody. It's better to have delusions rather than being not delusional. It just helps with mental health. Because, for example, facing the truth is so hard for a lot of people, and then delusions can help you with that.
Yeah,
You're not facing the truth.
I guess. I don't know. That's a hard.
But
That's a tricky
I'm
one.
bad with delusions. Like I can't. I'm always like, that's not real. That's never gonna happen. Actually,
When do you get the most delusional?
when what
Are there
time?
like certain like times
Times?
or like places where you are? Because I know for me it's when it's what is it called? When it's like not busy at work. You know when you're working, there's no customers. That's when I have my delusions.
I have other people around me, so not really. I think for me, before bed,
Like you make up scenarios in your head.
that's the thing, not like scenarios. I'm like, actually, yeah, but they're
Like
not
scenarios or like when you're recapping your
long.
day.
Recapping. Yeah, I do that a lot before bed, actually. I don't know when do I get the most illusions. Maybe when I'm walking to home.
Oh.
Yeah, actually. Or when I'm going to school. Like sometimes I'm like, I'm going to school. What if this happens?
Oh.
And sometimes my illusions are really bad.
Like what?
Like, what if I'm going to die?
Okay, that's crazy. Yeah, when you were saying about like, what was it? Like a car crash or something?
No, I was saying what if I have
Oh, what if you have a heart attack and just die right
yeah.
now?
I was on, basically.
That was
okay,
crazy.
I'll set the
She
scene.
came home. Yeah.
I'll set the scene. I don't know what happened that week, but I was on my way to work. It was like early morning. Campus is very dead at that time. And I was walking on that side of campus when there were like no people around. And I was walking and I started thinking to myself, 'cause before we like the night before or something, we either watched something or we talked about the guy who had a heart attack, something about it. And then I was like, wait, what if I like die right now? And then like, how is that going to turn around? And I think I'm not the only person who thinks about that. But then I was like thinking like, okay, like Erica, they'll probably call Erica and Erica will have to do this. And I was like, oh my God, I feel so bad for her, but I'm not going to be there to feel bad. And I had so many thoughts.
I have to call your mom.
Yeah, I was like, should I like Instagram her? And I was like, okay. And then I kind of stopped myself right before I was going to work, like literally right before. And then I came home and I told them, they were like, are you insane? I was like,
Yeah. I was a little bit concerned, not gonna lie.
no.
No.
Yeah.
My delusions are always like
Happy?
it's like surprises. It's always like, oh, what if this person just shows up right now?
Oh, I have that too.
Always have those kind of delusions.
I have that too. Not
Yeah.
always.
Those are like my common delusions.
Really?
Yeah, I have like common delusions, so that's one of them.
Common delusions.
Like, what if like, yeah, like my friend from back home is just here and she just surprised me or something.
I don't.
Or like,
have
what if
that-
this
a
person
lot
just
of
showed up
those.
in my life again? Like that kind of
Uh,
delusions.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Huh.
You're talking about white lies.
White lies?
Are you a big white liar?
I am 100%. Actually, going back to the topic of lying, sometimes this is gonna sound so bad, and I think I'm exposing myself, but like sometimes I lie without realizing I lie.
Oh. And do you ever realize it or
I realize it after
afterwards?
I said it.
Like, give an example.
I don't know, like somebody can ask me if this happened to me and I'll be like, oh yeah, totally. And they'll make up a whole scenario of how this happened to me. It never happened to me. That happened to me so many times.
Like
Like,
it's
even
a
like with friends,
reoccurring
maybe
thing.
even you asked me
Oh.
that. Like it's not about how close I am to a person.
Yeah.
It's just how much, like, I don't know. I'm really bad.
Okay, see, the thing is, like, growing up, one of my cousins, she lies so much.
Oh.
Like, she would make up stories. She would she would say that she has this or she has that. And she would say she's done this, she's done that. And I know for a fact they're all, like, maybe not all of them, but most of them are lies. And I always wonder, like, why is she doing that? And what is that, like, what is she getting out of that? And I kind of understand it now.
It's, like, you're trying to make yourself a bigger person, I think. Like,
you're trying to present yourself in a better way.
In a better way. Or, like, a lot of times for me, it's not even, like, fully lie, like, exaggeration. Let's say I did something 2 times, but then I'll say that I did it 4 times. Or, like something like that.
Yeah.
Or, like, I will say that I remember something which I actually don't.
Oh. Yeah. That one, a lot of times, is... So. It's just... I feel like when we lie, it's just to make things easier and more convenient for us. Mm-hmm. That's when we lie, like, most often than not. And I think I lie the most for sure is when we go out. Like in parties and clubs and with men. It's, I don't know. Sometimes I feel like it's an issue. But I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, I can give it a funny example.
Please do. I love it. Wait,
which story. One? The Chicago one?
Chicago story.
Oh, I was going to say a different one. But
oh, well, I love your stories.
So there's one time, like, okay, so for context, like, I love lying to people in the club. But people as in, like, guys, just because I'm not interested in them. I just want to lie to them and then just never see them again. So this one time, like, last summer in Toronto, me and Karina went out to the club. And then there was this guy. And I was just talking to him. And then I just made up a whole story of how I'm from Chicago. I'm visiting Toronto for, like, the weekend. You know, I'm here with my friend. I'm enjoying it. I don't know anything about the city. And then he gets my number. I give it to him. It's an Ontario number. I don't know how he didn't put that together. It literally says Hamilton, Ontario. He never questioned it, so I just gave it to him. And I just never saw him again. And then he texted me. He was like, oh, I hope you have fun or whatever. I was like, things. And then I think, like, a few days afterwards, he texts me. I'm like, who is this person? And I'm like, oh, it's the guy from the club. It's Chicago guy. And he asks, oh, are you still in town this weekend? And I'm like, sure. And he's like, let me take you out to dinner. I'm like, okay. And this was like a Saturday, I think. And I had work that night.
Yeah.
And then so I went to my work. And my shift ended at 9 p.m. And he's like, oh, let's do dinner at 8. I'm like, oh, I can't. I have a friend dinner until 9 p.m. Let's do 10. He's like, okay. So after work, I rush home. I change, you know, I get ready for the dinner. And then he sends me the location of the restaurant. It's across from our apartment. And he's like, do you want me to pick you up? Like, where should we meet? I'm like, I'll meet you at the restaurant. Like, it's fine. So then I, like, made sure that he was there first before I got there because I didn't want to, like, bump into him, like, after the, like, on the street or something.
I mean, you could have said that I live there.
Yeah. There was just, like, I don't know. But I got so nervous. I was like, why am I doing this? I was like, Karina, are you sure I should go? I told my friends. They were like, you're fucking crazy.
Yeah.
And then, like, because I was thinking of whether or not I should continue lying to him about that I'm from Chicago. Or just be like, oh, like, haha, it was a joke. I'm actually from here. And then I decided to just continue the lie. And then, so before I left, I remember I took a shot because I couldn't do this, like, completely sober. And I met up with him. It went really well. Like, I literally just lied the entire night. We were there for, like, 3 hours, dinner, and then we just drove around. He was like, oh, like, so how's Chicago? How long have you been there? Asking me all these questions, and I was just lying, like, spitting out lies left and right. And he, like, I really think he, like, bought the whole thing. And then after the dinner, I was like, oh, like, I'm probably gonna go back soon, but then my friend, like, whatever, like, because you were working and we were sharing a key. He's like, oh, let's just drive around. Let me show you the city. I'm like, sure, show me the city. So he's like, oh, I know a spot, classic. Takes me to Rebel Skyline that me and Karina have been to, like, multiple times.
He knows the spot.
I'm like, oh, this is so pretty. He's like, oh yeah, Toronto Skyline, like, you know, it's a really nice scene. I'm like, yeah, very nice. So that happened, whatever.
Then you text me, you're like, where you at?
Yeah.
Are you done with work? Like, we'll pick you up or something.
Yeah. Like, and then so, like, he dropped me off at Karina's work so I could go back with Karina. And then like even in the car, he was playing Lil Baby, and then I was like, "Who is this?" And he's like, "Lil Baby, aren't you from Chicago?" I'm like, I don't know. I don't listen to this kind of music." It's like
Chicago?
Drake and Toronto,
Yeah,
I think. Yeah, but so. And the whole summer, I was so scared I was gonna see him again.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I didn't. So
Thank God. It's really funny. Like the whole thing. And then Erica, she never came to my work, like when I worked that late. And then she just shows up out of the car. And I was like, the fuck is happening? She was like, yeah. And we were like, Chicago date? Sure.
yeah, he was asking me like, "What do you do in Chicago? Like, what school do you go to?" Basically, my best friend Angie, lives in Chicago and she goes to school there. So I just used her persona.
Yeah, so it's not like.
So I knew like what
if
to
it's
say.
fully out of nothing, that's crazy.
And in my defense, I did say I'm from Malaysia. I went there for school and blah blah blah. It's like only half of it was a lie, but it was very convenient because I just used Angie as my persona. But and that was pretty fun.
That's funny. Yeah. I don't have crazy lying stories like that.
Yeah, but like whenever we go out, we always say like, "Oh, we're gonna meet this person for the night," or like
Yeah,
we use like different
I would say,
names
like,
and different
always,
like yeah.
But a lot of
I feel like
times.
we always say that we do, but then we just end up like we just end up not doing it.
Names is nice. Like I like using a different name because also in the club or whatever, it's so loud. My name is not that hard and not that long, but for people,
Some people
reason,
just for some reason, yeah.
So I just like shorten it up or like have a short name that's easier. But yeah, and I've definitely said that I'm from a different place.
Yeah. Wait, what
100%.
names do you usually use?
Rena.
Oh yeah.
Because Karina, Rena that's what they hear. Honestly, I didn't even come up with this. Just every time I say Karina, they're like, Rena? And I'm like, sure, Rena.
Yeah.
I've had Anna before.
Oh yeah.
I don't remember. But yeah.
I was gonna say like it was Halloween when we were at the second house party, and I was talking to this guy, and then he's like, "Oh, like, what's your name?" I'm like, Rachel. And then he's like, "Oh, like, what's your last name?" I'm like, Lee or something. I don't know, because we were talking about like how we're both in business and just like all this.
Yeah.
And then after a while talking to him, I was like, "Oh wait, he's actually really nice, and he's like probably gay." So I was like, "Actually, wait, my name's not Rachel Lee. I'm Erica." He's like, "What?" I was like, "Yeah, I feel bad. Sorry, you're really nice."
Yeah. I didn't know that. No, I don't do that in like Mac, because especially when we go to like our year parties, because literally everyone knows everyone.
No, he kept talking. I was like, "Oh wait, I fucked up." I was like, "Actually,"
Actually, I'm lying right now.
yeah, it's so funny because I feel like that whole night I was with Zoe, and then Zoe's just like watching me lie to everyone.
This is more of a deeper question, I guess. When was the time you like lied and you felt bad about it, or like it was big bad lie?
Ooh, I have to think about this. Do you have one?
I had one in mind. Oh my god, wait. Well, the time I lied, but it was like a white lie, I guess. Not even, I guess, white lie. Is when I was lying to my friends when I was coming home last year, or whatever. Like that was a thing.
Like a surprise when
Like
you
a
were surprising
surprise.
them.
Yeah, but it was a surprise.
I was gonna say we're gonna talk about how like there are certain times when lying is okay, or are there certain times where lying is okay?
Yeah.
I think that's one of those
Surprise.
times when you're surprising someone when it's for a good like cause.
Mm-hmm.
But aside from that, I don't really see any other times where lying is like
Acceptable?
yeah.
I don't think so either.
Yeah.
I think I'm trying to think of like a bad lying. Well, okay, I've had this situation. I just remembered this recently, so I'm gonna talk about this. Me and my best friend at the end of grade 11. So there's this guy who she liked, but then the guy liked me. I didn't know he liked me. I kind of sensed it, but then he was still very nice with my best friend. So I was like, oh, they're just having a thing.
Yeah.
And then and it was COVID summer, right? So we really didn't do anything. We were just like hanging out in the like park and whatever, like playing Uno and stuff like that. So we hung out the whole for freaking summer. And then at the end of summer, my best friend she's in Dubai. The guy is supposed to fly to another city for school. The night before he's supposed to fly, the night before he's supposed to fly, he tells me he's in love with me. And then And then we meet up a couple of hours before, and he was like, yeah, like, I love you. Like, he love bombed me.
Oh, God.
And I was like, are you insane?
Yeah.
And then all of this. And then I did like him, I'm not going to lie.
Mm-hmm.
But I was like, always making sure that I don't show it.
Mm-hmm.
Because I would, like, my best friend was in love with him.
Yeah.
So this situation, I lied to my best friend saying I didn't like him. Because she asked me a couple of times. And I was like, no. And then this situation, I also told the guy that I didn't like him. Or like, yeah, I said I didn't like him either. Because again, I felt, because my best friend, I was like, I can't like you.
Yeah.
Like, I kept on saying, I can't like you.
You told him that you can't like him.
Yeah.
Oh.
I was like, I'm not allowed to.
Yeah.
So I liked to both of them. And then I think me and the guy talked after. And I was like, yeah, I do like you, but we can't do anything about it, right? And then I didn't tell my best friend for another like a week maybe. Mm-hmm. She was on vacation. I was like, I can't do this online. And she literally like called me and she was like crying about it. And like she had like pictures like of him. And I was like, oh my God. And I talked to him like 2 hours ago and he said he's in love with me.
That's crazy.
So the guy left to another city. My best friend came.
Does your best friend know now?
Yeah. No, she knows.
Okay,
there's a continuation of the story. Then she came back, and I think the next day we met up, and I was like, okay, I have something to tell you. And she was like, okay. And I told her, and her reaction, she was just like silent and so like, yeah, okay. And then I was like, what are you thinking? Like, what's happening? And she was like, I kind of, yeah. And she was like, I kind of like knew this is going to happen. I just didn't want to believe in it.
Aww.
And I was like, yeah, I feel so bad. She was like, no, you should have like told me right away when I asked you like if you liked him. You should have told me you do, and then maybe you guys had a shot. So
what did you think at the moment? Like, did you regret not telling her?
Like,
what would you do differently?
Nothing.
You would still like hid it from them.
I think okay. I don't think it's good. I don't think it's healthy to be lying about your feelings. I do that a lot though. Like, that's one thing I lie about, my feelings. Mm-hmm. But at the time, and anything that comes to like my friends and their love interests, I always put my friends first. Yeah. Like, it's not always good, but if I know, like in that situation, my friend was literally like, if you told me, I kind of thought that he might like you, like you guys might have had a shot. And because I didn't tell her the truth when she asked me multiple times, I never had the shot with that person. I don't regret anything. Yeah. And I haven't grown enough to be thinking that I should have done something differently. Like, I'll definitely do the same thing if it happens right now. But I don't think that was the best situation to be in.
I don't know. I feel like you did it obviously with good intentions. I don't know, like maybe if you, because she said like she wished you would have just told her in the beginning. I don't know. I feel like that would like cause so much, and like she would be so hurt, like back then. So, I like would do the same thing as you what you did.
I don't know. I'm just like, I also a lot of times I think I can handle more than some of my friends, especially when it comes to like love stuff.
So you take the bullet.
I'm like, it's fine.
Yeah, I do that too. This is bad.
It is bad. Like, it is bad. And like a lot of times, again, when it comes to like love interest, especially, I'm just like, it's okay. I can handle it.
Yeah.
And then I wouldn't say I felt great after either of the talks.
Yeah. Like,
second conversation. Oh my God. And just the ending of the story, the guy, he returned back to Almaty.
Yeah.
And like, he wanted to make it work.
With you?
Yeah. Because I was still there. Yeah, he dropped out of that uni. He went to Almaty Uni. Like, he transferred to Almaty University. Because he was like, I want to make it work. I know you're here for 6 more months, but we can make it work. I was like,
that's so weird.
No.
What?
It was like a grand gesture moment. Yeah.
That's crazy. You did not fall for the grand gesture at all.
No.
Damn.
Yeah. I don't know what it says about me, but I just, at that point, I was like, I can't be with a person. Actually, I do stand out to my opinions. I told him I can't be with a person who doesn't have the guts enough to tell me this sooner, and then to make it clear to my best friend as well.
Yeah.
Because why are you being so flirty and stuff with my best friend if you like me?
That's true. See, he's not being honest.
Like, that was my main concern. I was like, why you've been like texting with her and stuff?
Yeah.
Like, if you actually like me.
Yeah.
That doesn't make any sense in my book. So.
So grand gesture is invalid.
Yeah.
I think the lie, I don't know about like biggest, but I feel the worst whenever I lie to my parents and like family, like parents. Whenever I'm home, I really hope like they don't hear. They're not gonna listen to this, but like I would go like sleepovers with my friends, whatever. But then we would like go out, like partying or like when I go see a guy.
Yeah.
Like that's when I feel like the worst.
I agree.
I can't even like imagine if I like never moved to Canada and I did uni at home.
No.
I like
no.
Don't even know like
same.
Yeah.
I think that would be horrible.
Yeah. I think that would also just ruin like me and my parents' relationships too. So
I think moving helped a lot.
Moving helped so much. Moving actually helped our relationship, I think, in my opinion. But yeah, whenever I go home and then like I go out at night and stuff, and then I'm like not necessarily lying, but like I'm just not telling them stuff, which is I guess I'm not being honest and not being transparent with my parents. That's when I feel the worst. It's like
yeah. No, I agree. Honestly, I realized that it's so hard for me to lie to my parents. Like this summer, like there are a couple of times when I lied, but at the end I told them the truth. But I was like, oh my God, I feel so horrible. Yeah. And I think especially after living abroad and like I've been telling them the truth about everything that's happening right now with me here, that when I didn't tell them the truth and they're right here, like in person, I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
I feel disgusting.
That's me right now. I have a big lie happening right now.
Big lie.
That's gonna end soon though.
Yeah.
So it's okay.
It's fine.
Hopefully by the time this podcast goes live. Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay.
Anytime now.
Anytime
now.
Anytime right now.
Anytime now. Oh God. Okay. But I have like a good question.
Yeah.
When you like you know how you always have like resolutions or goals or things that you want to work on for yourself, is honesty something that you like prioritize, or do you think about it? You're like, oh, I want to be more honest.
No, never actually.
Right? Isn't that kind of weird?
Kind of want to do it this year now. No,
yeah, I'm gonna add that to my list.
No, because I always consider myself an honest person.
Yeah.
So I even say that in my interviews. I'm an honest person. Because I think also why I say that there is because you know how you always like, not always, but like you make fun of me when I say something like very straightforward.
Yeah.
I think straightforward is more.
Oh, yeah. I'm
just like very like
honest. You laid the cards out on the table.
You did this wrong, darling.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Like there's like honesty, there's being straightforward, and then there's also like, do you think being fake is the same as being dishonest?
No.
Yeah.
I'm fake. Okay.
You're fake, but you're honest.
Ooh, that's an interesting combo. Okay, I think I'm fake sometimes.
I feel like, again, with the whole like being like lying thing, I think being fake sometimes is just like for us just because you're not interested in whatever's in front of you, so you're just being fake and you're just trying to move on from it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I think it's the worst. Or I used to think that the worst thing is to be like a fake person, and I still kind of think it is because like it's so hard to be fake because you're playing a part all the time. But sometimes it's actually easier.
Yeah, it's definitely easier.
Like, and I don't know. For me, I know that I'm doing that sometimes. I'm like, oh, yeah, I'll see you. Have a great day. They don't care.
Yeah.
Or like I ask questions that I actually don't care about.
Yeah, don't you like when you ask it? Aren't you like, oh, why did I ask that? Because now they're gonna talk a lot. That happened also on a Halloween. We bumped into a friend, and then we were trying to go somewhere, and then we bumped into this friend halfway.
Oh,
We all said hi to them. We said
Yeah.
hi, like, how's it going? And then we're trying to move on. But then you asked them a question. I forgot what you asked, but you just started a whole conversation. You asked like a very open-ended question.
yeah.
And I was like, Karina,
So
now.
now, I know you were like, you looked at me and I was like, oh, I fucked up. But a lot of times I think I don't even notice that it just comes to me so naturally.
It just happens.
No, but it just really just.
You're just a yapper.
Not even a yapper. I'm a
kidding.
questionnaire.
I'm a questionnaire.
I'm like, so what happened?
Yeah.
That's how I gather my gossip too.
Yeah, that's true. If you want gossip, that's how you get it.
I also one thing I am proud to say I'm a gossiper.
I am happy to announce that Karina is a gossiper. I identify as a gossiper.
This episode feels like I'm just
Outing
putting myself out there. What the hell?
You're just exposing yourself.
I
Well,
am
see,
just
you're being transparent, honest.
Honestly, podcasts, like having a podcast, I think made me so much more honest.
That's true.
Because a lot of things now, if I'm talking to someone, I'm like, I can't lie because they can watch a podcast and be like, oh, you actually said this. And I'm like, okay.
I didn't think about that.
I think about that so much, especially when people out of nowhere, they come and they're like, oh, how's your podcast? I watched the previous episode.
I'm like,
And
oh,
I'm like,
you know this and that
Right?
about me. That's crazy, yeah. For me, it's more like when I listen back to some episodes, I'm like, oh, I said this.
yeah.
People know about this.
When I see the reels, I'm like, oh my God, Karina, why did you say that?
That Chicago story that's going to go out to the internet.
Ah.
And
And everyone's gonna know.
it's these little things. But
Okay.
anyways.
Any morale
of the episode. I think, you know how you always say, like, you put on a mask before you go out? Like, I don't think that's a bad thing. I just think, like, I feel like we always associate that with being like, oh,
Bad?
like you're being fake or you're being bad. I don't think so. I feel like it's normal.
Yeah, I think so too. It's normal.
I think most people do it.
We all have masks.
Yeah. It's just whether or not you realize it or, like, how much you're covering up, in a sense. Yeah. I feel like it's like, why else do you feel like so exhausted after spending a whole day or like going outside and coming home after a long day? It's because, like, you know, you were like,
Yeah.
you had your mask on the whole day, that kind of stuff.
Ooh.
I don't know what I'm saying. Yeah.
I had a question while you were saying this. How honest do you think you are with yourself on like percentile from 0 to 100?
I think I've gotten a lot better over the years, but then like a number,
Mm-hmm.
maybe like from 1 to 10
Okay, sure.
with myself, maybe like a 6.8,
Oh.
close to 7.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Damn.
But I think it used to be like, I don't know, 4 or 5.
How are you as a 4 or 5? Like, how are you not honest with yourself?
I don't know.
Like day by day, what does that look like?
It's like when I tell myself, oh, I'm okay, but I'm actually not. I'm like, oh, you can go, you can move on, like you can push through it. But now it's more of like, I know when I'm dishonest, but then sometimes I don't even do anything about it. Yeah, now it's more of like that. Like, okay, I know when I'm like not honest with myself, but then I just live with it. I just accept it. Sure, yeah. And then change will follow afterwards.
Oh my God. Before you explain this, that's why I asked. I want to say I'm 8 out of 10. I'm like 8. I'm honest with myself. But then now I'm like, the whole fine thing. I don't know. But also, I think I'm pretty honest with myself. 8 or 9.
Yeah.
Like, I can say to everyone I'm fine, I'm not. But then I go to my room and I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Life is this.
Yeah. Another like big thing, aside from like being okay, like being happy, that kind of thing, is like when I think about like what I'm good at and like my future and career, I feel like that's also when I'm like borderline delusional. Like whenever I always say, oh, I want to move to New York before I turn 30. I want to work in New York. I want to like work in this. I want to do like fashion, whatever. And then I like in my head, I'm like, oh yeah, I can do it. I'm good at it. But then sometimes I feel like if I'm just lying to myself.
I think partially it's always lying.
Yeah. I'm like, am I actually like capable though? Like, can I actually do it? Like, I always say I like it or I love it, but like, I don't know. Sometimes I'm like, I doubt myself in that situation.
Yeah, I think with like future stuff, it's all about believing in yourself.
Yeah.
And I think part of believing in yourself is definitely lying to yourself.
Also, a big part of it is just like, it's just to make myself feel better. It's like, okay, yeah, I have something to like
Good
work,
delusions.
like, I guess so, like work towards.
Yeah. I've gotten worse with that. I think I used to be so, I think it's just like realistic or optimist.
Like, yeah.
Like approach. I think I used to be very optimistic about stuff, and now I don't know, maybe it's just this semester, but I've been like a lot more down, a lot more negative towards the future. And I don't think that's good. But
Okay, I see the healthy delusional now.
yeah. But it helps. Healthy delusions help.
Yeah, so moral of the episode is keep delusioning.
Keep it small though. Don't have crazy delusions.
Don't go overboard.
Yeah, I wanted to say like my moral of the episode is probably just honestly just be aware of like either you're honest or dishonest.
Yeah.
Like not I wouldn't say be honest or like be truthful with yourself.
Yeah.
You need to be 100% honest at all times. No, that's so unrealistic.
Yeah.
But at least you know when you're acting a certain way. I would say that's good enough.
Being aware of it.
Being aware of it, yeah.
Yeah, baby steps.
Baby steps. We're getting there. We're learning too.
We're learning.
Okay, that was the episode, guys.
That was the episode.
If anyone, this is crazy, and probably not anyone's gonna write anything, but please, if you have a crazy story when you lied,
a crazy lie story,
please write in the comments.
Yeah, or DM us or something and tell us. We would love to read your stories.
Absolutely. Okay.
But yeah, thank you for listening, and we'll catch you in the next episode.
Bye.
Bye.